to the July 11th, 2019 Shade Tree Commission meeting. There are enough here for a quorum, but it's a very small group. However, we have few items on our agenda. There are no ordinance Title 33 or Title 37, and no issues have been brought up about the tree canopy, so we'll go to Ron for his report.
I have kind of a combination of things to report on, which are ones mentioned up there under other, so I can go ahead and just start talking about. I do have one item in terms of maintenance of the tree canopy. We have quite a bit of deadwood pruning to do, particularly on Tulane and Woodside. There's a city-owned drainage basin. Tulane Creek is what it's fondly known as in the neighborhood, but the area that's at Woodward and Tulane, the intersection, there's quite a few trees that are dropping significant size branches that we need to do some pruning on, and also the same concept is involved on Blick. At the very end of Blick, there's a city right-of-way that runs perpendicular to the road to Blick, and there are a number of trees that are leaning over and some dead wood that is threatening some homes. So we need to take care of that.
Did you notice in the Athens and Bloom report that they recommended that the Shade Tree Commission members get trained to do pruning?
Yeah, so basic pruning is certainly something that I would be comfortable with, but putting people up in bucket trucks, I'm not. So I understand what they're saying, but there's some concerns there in terms of giving you chainsaws and having to go to town. So I understand that, but basic pruning techniques is, I think, what they're more focused on. So, which you guys know, you guys have that skill. I think a lot of that is for lifting young trees, so that we get them established so that they're growing upright. And not, if you look at a couple of the trees on Union Street, for example, they need lifted a little bit. They're young trees, and before Athens and Bloom, we'll do that. We'll lift those trees to get them started. I did want to talk about a program that we're getting ready to at least move towards. It's our Memorial Tree Program. Nancy's in loop on this. This is something that came out of Athens and Bloom. It would be nice if we would have some type of procedure or policy in place regarding how one gets a memorial tree, and put that somewhere, because we have quite a few. We put our heads together and figured out a list of trees that we do have that are memorial trees, and there's quite a few already.
How many would you get?
I can't pull up the list right now because it's in a format that I can't open on this computer, but we're probably around 15 or so. But there's no real process. It's, hey, I would like to place a tree in honor of someone or something, and the city says, okay.
Most of them in a public place, or?
Well, I think that should be one of the criteria. If there's going to be a memorial tree that the city is responsible for, it needs to be in a public space, whether it be in a park or on the right-of-way. But they are located throughout the city. So I think that would be a nice thing for the Shade Tree Commission to maybe work with me on in terms of developing a procedure or policy for people to utilize. And I think if we do have something in writing, more people will participate, because it is a nice thing for people to do.
And then bringing it to attention might get more people interested.
Exactly. If people know about it, because right now there isn't anything in place. It's just a question, can I do this? And typically we say, sure, that sounds like a great idea. And then we do it, but there's no there's no process. So there should be a process.
I agree.
And there should be some publication for that process. So I'll send you a document that Chris Knisely's been working on, and I'll I'll send it to the whole Shade Tree Commission so you can take a look at it. And that will give you a feel for the number of trees that we have.
Okay.
And we also have some draft policies from other communities. We might be able to mess around with those a little bit and make it our own. So
They typically have plaques.
it's mix and match. So some have plaques, some do not. One thing that we don't have is we don't have a list somewhere in a public building that shows the memorial trees. We're fixing that, and we'll have something up at the communities at the pool by Athens and Bloom that shows all the memorial trees that we have in the city. But that's just a publisher document that we'll put up. So we'll move forward with something nicer and make sure that we have something in place regarding the plaque, how you do that for the person that's requesting it. So.
Speaking of Athens and Bloom, that's another thing that...
At one time, wasn't there something made? I think I saw the prototype of it. It was like a tree on a background, and then there were going to be these little plaques, little tags on it for the names of people that, and it's going to be at the community center. It was quite a while ago, but...
You know, I vaguely recall something to that. I don't know where that idea ever ended up.
I mean...
But that would be kind of nice. I know what you're talking about. Like the branches of the tree shows whose tree it is and what year it was dedicated and things like that.
Maybe the location even. That would be...
Yeah. Well, that's what I think we should. I think we need to come up with something that has all that information, like who's the tree for, or what is the tree for, who planted it, when was it planted, what type of tree is it, and where is it. You know, so I think those are at least 5 things that we want.
The list
to
I
know.
saw just had the name of the person that donated it and the date. Didn't say what kind of tree it was. Didn't say where it was.
Yeah.
It's the list that Chris had. I don't know where she got it.
I think Andrew Chickey from Arts, Parks, and Recreation helped develop that, because most of them are in our parks. There are a couple that are not. Well, actually, it is in a park, but it's not at East State Park. It's Rick Abel's tree. It's at Highland Park. So, anyway.
That's a great idea.
Do we want to talk about Athens and Bloom now?
Yeah, you guys, the Athens and Bloom people want to involve us in getting ready and in the days itself. So we have an itinerary. I don't know, Ron, you want to talk about the things that are going to happen?
So with Athens and Bloom, we're getting close. So the tour will be on July 25th and 26th, which is Thursday and Friday, the week after next. And the judges will be staying at the OU Inn. One of the things that we've learned over the last 2 years is we don't want to over-tour them. You know, so sitting in a car driving around the city for 8 hours a day is not our goal, and they certainly don't want that to be what happens, because one of the things that was very clear to me last year was one of the judges said to me that we go to 8 different communities every year, and every one of those communities is the best community. And you know, I thought about that, and that's right, because you're trying to promote your city, and everywhere they go, they're trying to promote their cities too. So what can we do to give them an experience that is unlike what they're experiencing in other cities? So part of that is not only seeing what our city is about from a landscape and flower and tree perspective, environmental history, vitality, all these different things that they see, but also how do we do it? How do we get there? What's the policy and procedure behind all of it? So they want to learn that stuff as well. So there are opportunities during the day, particularly breakfast and lunch, and maybe a after tour event. There it is. I'll be darned. I knew that it was here, but I never actually seen it in action. I need to gather my thoughts for a second. So there are opportunities for there are opportunities for us to get together with members of the community to talk about how we do our stuff. One of the most important components, and one that we've scored well on, is our tree canopy. It would be nice if we were able to have breakfast or lunch with them and the Shade Tree Commission, so that they can not only talk about our passion for our tree canopy, but also how we do all the things we do with our canopy. And that would be an opportunity for the Shade Tree Commission to get some feedback from the judges, as well as the judges to get some feedback from you. Because what it's been the last 2 years is just me talking about the Shade Tree Commission and showing them trees. Well, they don't want to be looking at stuff while they're hearing us talk, so because it gets overwhelming. And if you look at the report back from them, you can clearly see that doesn't always work very well, because when you're telling them something or explaining something as you're driving and looking at something, you can't do that. You can't process all that at once. So
we're going to also ask the gardening clubs to come out the same day you
Oh.
do another meal. And then I think maybe some of the people who win the contest might come to
yeah,
one.
so at the end of the second day of touring on July 26th, we would like to have a reception at one of our committee members' homes where we invite Shade Tree commissioners, winners of the contest, nominees for the contest, civic organizations, garden club members to come and have an opportunity to meet the judges and basically just have a little reception before they go on back to their hotel room and score us out. So I think it's breakfast on day 2 that we're thinking of the Shade Tree Commission having an opportunity to meet with them at Brennan's. But I'll put that out officially in an email when that is. So, and I'll copy everyone on it.
I think it's at, where is the second day? I forget.
The
Brennan.
2 places for the second day are Brennan's and Catalyst Cafe. And I can't remember which one off the top of my head
You're
we're
out of
going
town, I
to.
think, aren't you?
What?
Will you be out of town?
I'll be back. I'm coming back on the 24th.
Oh, okay.
I think I'll be out of town.
Will you? Oh.
When is this now?
July 25th and 26th.
And is this next week?
No, it's the week
July.
after.
Oh, okay. I'll be back then.
Okay.
Sorry.
Good. How about you? Are you? Yeah.
So
Be home the 27th.
we saw the notice in our utility bill, very nice, for the Athens in Bloom contest,
Oh, yeah.
or have you gotten many people sending?
We
in
have actually Nancy and myself and Terry Swank are going tomorrow to judge the residential nominees. So
Great.
I'm excited.
it's going to be fun. So the business nominees have already been judged, and winners have been given to me. But we need to do the residential.
You're
We're gonna
keeping
do
it
that tomorrow.
secret? Is that what you're saying?
Keeping it secret. Secret. We'll put it out. We'll put it out probably the week before American Bloom starts. So maybe next Thursday or Friday we'll notify everybody.
Well, I told
who won.
Emily I wanted to nominate her, but I needed to come and take a picture, and I forgot to call her. But I did. The woman across the street, I saw her. I see her every day practically, so I got her.
Actually, I have a picture of Emily's back garden.
Well, it's too late now. I had to be in by the 30th.
Okay.
If you have any
what I said.
pictures of people's gardens that haven't been nominated, it's too late now, but it's still an opportunity to get them to me and show the judges. Because we're going to be driving around neighborhoods, and it'd be nice if we had a couple spots that we could say, "Hey,
Well,
look."
if we get, she lives up on off of Columbia.
Yeah.
If we go up that way, that would be a great place to stop.
Oh,
Yeah.
her garden is
Her garden
so
is really
beautiful.
gorgeous.
So
I don't
we're
think
gonna we're actually gonna give people a physical award for winning. There's 4 different categories that you can compete in, and I think the big difference between American Bloom the past 2 years and this year is the public outreach and the community knowledge of the event has grown exponentially. Once the business community found out about it, it's spread quite a bit. I wouldn't say like wildfire at this point, but there's a lot more awareness. So that's how we were able to get things done on Court Street with all the flower planters, and those were some business owners in the city putting funds together to put those plants up, and it's a huge difference. If you would see compare Court Street, the look this year to last, it's night and day. And that was one of the things that we scored weak on last year, was our primary business district, our uptown area wasn't floral enough, not enough color. I think we met that this year. I'm excited to see what they say about that effort. And it wouldn't have been possible without the business community getting involved.
Right.
So it's going to be fun.
What's the name of the guy with the jewelry shop? I keep forgetting. The one who contributed all the pots.
Oh, that's Cornwell.
Cornwell.
John Wharton in the city. Yeah, well, no, Les Cornwell, John Wharton in the city.
Oh, okay.
We all bought about 30 apiece.
Okay.
So now Mr. Cornwell's been instrumental in having his maintenance staff help us water them and do some other maintenance with those flowers, because we don't have our landscape staff we have 2, maybe 3 people at any given time, but they're responsible for other areas. So it's been a team effort.
I asked this the other day. I forget. I'm not sure whether you didn't hear me or whether I forgot what you said. But how are the trees looking along the street? Are they?
We're going to have to remove one before America in Bloom.
Yeah.
It's been ripped in half.
Can we get another one in?
I don't know. It's not the best location. It's the one in front of the overhang, 63, 65 North Court. It's not the best spot.
It's in front of what?
The overhang. It's a bar uptown.
Oh.
So, but yeah, the goal is to get another plant in there. Just summer's not the best time.
Well, last time I looked, just in driving through one day, I noticed they were looking pretty good, actually.
Yeah, for the most part, the established trees look pretty good. It's been a challenge getting a couple. There's a couple spots on Court Street that have been a challenge to get established, but once we get them established, they do pretty well. Believe it or not, swamp white oak and honey locust are the ones that we're having the most success with.
We have some swamp oak. That's what I want to get for my yard.
Yeah, they're doing pretty well.
Where is it?
There's quite a few on Court Street.
Are there? Oh, good. I'll have to go look.
Yeah. Also, I'd like to take the opportunity, just if you do have gardens, landscapes, spruce them up a little bit. And we have about 2 weeks before the judges are here, and they'll be, every little bit helps. I'd like to score a lot better this year.
The other thing that they're asking for help with is getting ready. I've forgotten. I had an email that one day in the week before, 7 to 9 in the morning, they're asking people to come and help weed. along the Main Street.
Yeah, so
donuts to be served.
Could I expand on that a little bit, Nancy?
Huh?
Could I expand on that a little bit?
Yes.
Okay, so I have arranged our landscape staff to be here in front of City Hall. I can't start them any earlier than 7:30, so they'll be here at about 7:30 with a dump truck full of mulch, and we'll roll Court Street to get those tree pits mulched. We will need a hand weeding a couple other tree pits that haven't been weeded yet, but the plan is get them weeded and then mulch those pits as soon as we get them weeded. So it should only take a couple hours to do all of them.
What day was it that you decided on?
We're going to start on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
If we can have people, extra hands up there, that would be great. Because there are quite a few weeds that still need pulled.
What was the date on that?
It's Tuesday, 23rd? July 16th, and Wednesday, July 17th.
Oh, the 16th. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's for working on Court Street?
Yeah. Court Street and the side streets between College and Congress. And the tree pits on West Union need to be, there's an permeable asphalt cover on those trees, and it's been sinking because the compaction of the soils happened over time. Our street department's going to lift that up with some pea gravel and soil to get that back to grade. But we do have some weeds to remove from those sites.
Are you talking about the rain gardens?
No, I'm talking about West Union Street between Congress and Court, where Jackie O's BW3 is.
All right.
No, the rain gardens look pretty good.
They do. I've been impressed with. There was a kind of a struggle with weeds for a while, but they have matured now and are looking very nice.
The judges will enjoy looking at that project because that's a combination effort of landscaping and environmental sustainability, stormwater management.
Yeah, we were introduced to that concept at one of the tree care conferences a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago. And then when I was in Columbus, I actually saw some of those across from Children's Hospital. And it was sort of like, oh, yes, the rain garden's here, you know. It's one thing to see it in a presentation that what they're going to do, but it was really interesting to see it. Not as interesting as ours, I have to say.
I don't have anything else to report, Nancy.
We have an itinerary, if anybody's interested in looking at it. It's try to include hot spots in the city. We're going to Sells Park. I'm not sure why. There's nothing. Well, actually,
we're not really going. We're just going to drive by.
We're just going by. Okay. Yeah. Well, do you know the buckeye bottlebrush bushes that they planted last year are blooming? They'll probably be bloomed out by the time they get here.
I think one of the biggest things that we'll want to point out at Sells Park is that we build an ADA accessible path for people to enjoy the trail.
I'm not sure that was here last year, was it? It was.
It was here. It's actually been in place for about 3 years.
It's a great angle. I mean, I can run up that thing really quick.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's something important that judges see to kind of give them a feel of how important accessibility is to our community.
Then we're going to go around the near east side to go by Village Bakery, go by the library, go by the Wistendal and the Children's Garden, and of course the community center. I think that's about as far out as we're going to go, isn't it?
Unless there are some gardens nominated, we'll probably specifically drive past those locations. Yeah, we don't need to show them the strip. I mean, that's anywhere USA pretty much. So.
And then in the afternoon, it's the OU. I'm going to go in the around the Richland roundabout to look at that, and College Gate, the Maritime Park, and Memod, and the Wolf Park and Brick Path down to Morton Hall. So, and then to the Armory to see the new park.
Okay.
Yeah, so one of the things, I know it sounds like a lot, but one of the things that I can comfortably say that we were scolded on last year by the judges, is that it was very Ohio University centric. The whole tour felt OU centric. So we put a specific focus this year to highlight OU, but not spend the amount of time like that we did last year. This is a city tour, and Ohio University is within the city of Athens. So we need to concentrate more on city policy and what the city looks like, but still mention OU because it's a significant part. We want to be careful that we're not spending. I'd say of the 8 hours last year we spent touring, 6 of it was probably university. So we want to be careful that. So yeah, it sounds like we're doing a lot, Court Street and Armory and College Green and Maritime Park, but we're going to zip through it and spend most of our time on Court Street.
Thursday night we're taking into Little Fish for dinner.
Yeah, I was just at Little Fish today and used their charger. My nephew was here with his electric vehicle, a Bolt, and plugged it. It was really cool to see that.
Yeah, and that's something actually that we're gonna highlight as part of our sustainability. Is that was a specific question. Do you have EV chargers? And yes,
Oh, really?
we do.
I'm not sure when this is, but it's sometime in the evening or in the late afternoon to go to the Ridges Echo House Dairy Barn and past the compost facility.
That's the first thing on Friday morning.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the wrong place then on this thing.
Okay.
It's listed at the end of day one.
Yeah.
So, speaking of the charger, there used to be two in the parking garage. What happened to one of them? It's gone.
I'll have to look, Lee.
Okay, all right.
Where were they?
I'm asking as if you know everything.
They're on
the
Were they downstairs?
second floor upper.
Second floor upper, right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
It might not be working right now. We might be doing some maintenance
It
on
had been professionally, my nephew was saying, who's in a mechanical engineer, and he works with electric vehicles. Anyway, he said, it looks like it's been professionally removed. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
we
not
probably-
like somebody's ripped it off.
Maybe our electricians needed to take it down for something.
Uh-huh.
I'll have to check into that.
Yeah. I mean, we want to proudly show the judges, and then, whoops.
Yeah, well, those are a slower charge. Those are pretty much trickle chargers.
Are they?
But the ones we have at the community center are fast charge.
Oh, okay.
At some point or another, they're going to go to the Union Street Cemetery and to the Catalyst and next door to Hyacinth Bean and to White's Mill and drive through up and around Longview Heights.
And the whole goal of that is to show some of the tree tunnels that exist on Longview, and then ultimately end up at Roxanne Malley-Brune's house for the reception.
Oh, and I think on the east end we're going to go down Elm.
Yeah, we'll show off Elmwood and Morris and those trees,
So
those
that's
tree
kind of
canopies,
nice.
those streets that have those beautiful tree tunnels. We'll show those off.
One of the women is a master gardener.
What's that?
One of the women is a master gardener, and in fact,
Oh, nice.
helped to edit the manual, the training manual.
Okay.
She's from Ohio. She probably would have really enjoyed your garden because she's an immigrant from England. So it's kind of an English garden you have there.
Where?
Huh?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I think she was talking to me
What?
about my garden.
Oh, okay. All right. Right. Okay. I just sent you pictures of. They don't do her justice. It doesn't do the garden justice, but
Did you send it to me too?
you can't. What?
Did you send any to me?
I'll forward
mine.
I'll forward them to her.
Okay.
I can do it right now, Lee. Oh, there we go.
Say as I said, the pictures don't do it justice, but
I just sent them to you, Nancy.
yeah. Okay.
Nancy, do we want to go through the minutes, the last minute?
Their minutes aren't available in hard copy. They were on your email, if you remembered. Does anybody have anything they would like to change, or any additions, or relations you would like to suggest? If not, can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I second it.
Did you approve?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So, did you get that, Lee?
Yep. Lee motioned and Emily second.
Seconded by Emily.
Yep.
And therefore, we're adjourned.
Are we having a meeting in August? I know there was some talk last meeting about not having a meeting in August. I don't know.
Sorry.
There was some talk last month about not having a meeting in August.
Oh, that's right.
So I don't know if that was,
Yeah, as far as I know, it hasn't been decided.
okay.
I think it had to be closer to the date.
Okay, so let's go ahead and let the meetings reflect. The next meeting will be,
8th.
Often David has
would be,
professional
yes.
meeting, but
August 8th.
Actually, it would be on the 14th. Is that right?
No, second Thursday is the 8th,
Oh, no, here. No, you're right, 15th. 8th.
August 8th. So I'll just put next meeting will be August 8th unless otherwise noted.
Okay.
right.
At 7 p.m. unless otherwise noted. Okay.
Oh, I see.
Anyway, I think there's a lot more awareness of the Athens in Bloom this year.
Yeah, and I think branding it as Athens in Bloom has really helped instead of America in Bloom.
Right.
So I think that one of the biggest things that we did as a committee was actually creating Athens in Bloom, because I think that just brought a little bit more.
Yeah. And
Green in it.
It made it closer to home, for lack of a better phrase.
right, exactly, more meaningful.
Yeah.
The woman who's the director of American Bloom in Columbus is actually coming down in August for the August Master Gardener meeting, which is the fourth Monday. So
Into a house.
it would be fine if anybody's interested in coming here and speak. It's essentially probably very similar to what she said in Belpre at the presentation there.
Okay.
So anyway, you're welcome to come. And
This coming Monday?
no, it'll be the fourth Monday in August.
Oh, okay. So
So
okay,
it'll be
gotcha.
after, but we thought, Nancy and I are on the program committee,
That was it.
and we thought it would be, by doing it then, more people would be aware of
The bindweed.
that the judges had been here and all. So anyway,
okay.
The one side is looking.
her name is escaping me at the moment, but
Is it Leslie Pettinger?
Is
No.
pretty
Okay.
rustic.
I'm also moved into town, so I've been keeping an eye on what's in Bloom. Something. Fantastic. I don't know what else.
Well, mine
Comes in.
last year, or two years ago, bloomed about now. But the deer last year and this year have eaten them. So they're keeping them bushy and.
so I guess we've gotten through our agenda, right?
That's good. Need it. The
Hey,
pollinators and the pollen. I've got a golden run.
Nancy, can we officially adjourn the meeting?
Yes, I did.
Did you? No. I still have. I was still reflecting a couple notes from about American Bloom. So okay. All right. So all right. Meeting adjourned at 7:39.
Okay.
All right.